Design basics. Design basics. Design basics? If Mario Odyssey is like art, then Mario Galaxy is like design. Both are great, but like Mario Galaxy, design has more rules and guidelines, while art in Odyssey is less limited and has nipples. However, to separate the two would impair you as an artist or a designer. I mean, both Galaxy and Odyssey have Mario in it, and aspects of design can be found in art, and so it's important to understand the basics. Design is easy to understand, but takes practice to pull off. Even big corporations get it wrong. I mean, like, look at this. Gross. Who thought this was a good idea? What the Based on who you ask, there are 7 principles of 10, 9 principles, 5. Good heavens! I'm just gonna tell you what I learned about the principles of design. So, to begin with, let's take a look at the 4 types of balance. Imagine a painting or any visual art like a scale, and any visual detail has weight and adds to the scales. You have symmetrical balance, where everything is nice and even. Asymmetrical balance, where it's still balanced, but it's not exactly similar on either side. Radial balance is where it changes the scale to a central point and has a circular shape surrounding that. Then, finally, we have crystallographic balance, which if I had to describe would be just put a bunch of freaking BS everywhere. I'm gonna put a crap ton of squares here. What if I put some squiggly news over here? What if I just scribble all over the place? Who's gonna stop me? Balance is important to keep your design feeling stable and solid. However, if you wanted to make people feel like the piece is off, you can screw with the balance by offsetting some things. But what can also affect balance is our next principle, proportion. Proportion refers to the size of things to other things. It also can be used to create emphasis. Big thing big, so I look at it. Small thing small, I don't look at it. A principle that can use proportion is contrast. Contrast, of course, refers to opposing variables. So like different colors, size, values, and shapes can be used to emphasize certain aspects of a piece. Speaking of emphasis, I've talked about it twice now, so I guess I should let you know what it is. Emphasis is when you emphasize something. Because emphasis Now, do you remember at the beginning of the video when I said principle of design 3 times? This is gonna blow your mind. That was repetition. And guess what? You can use repetition to create emphasis. Oh God. If this video has felt disjointed and lacked focus, then it can be due to a lack of the next principles: unity and harmony.
Hello? Can you hear me? Good. I'm Luke from the future. You can tell time has passed because I'm wearing glasses. Listen, I don't have much time. I'm here because the explanation I was going to give was so bad. It was just so terrible, so factually incorrect that I had to come from the future and fix it. So basically, unity is how every principle I talked about comes together and works with each other. This is the sum total of every principle that creates the image, so it's hard to show visually, but basically I think this quote from envision.com really just clears things up. In a nutshell, conceptual unity can be described as singleness, or the act of combining things for the user's convenience. Are you confused? Good. Visual unity is basically harmony. Harmony and visual unity are about how consistent materials are with each other. So like using a color scheme that works, or having a consistent style. For example, in one of my graphic design classes, we had to make Olympic logos for sports, and I made these Nordic symbols for them. But one of the main criticisms was how the two human figures weren't consistent. To sum up the two of them, it's about consistency. I'm about to lose connection. If things get bad again, I'll have to find another way to stop me. See you then.
To create harmony with colors, you'll want to use color theory, which I want to make a more in-depth video about later, but the quick summary of it is there are types of color schemes. Monochromatic, the use of one color. Analogous, the use of three colors that are best friends on the wheel. Complementary, two colors on the opposite side of the wheel. Split complementary, similar to the last, but the color has a friend. Tridactic, a triangle on the color wheel, and a tetradic, a square on the wheel. The final design principle I'm going to talk about today is leading the eye, or movement. When you look at a piece, you are instantly at the will of the artist. Then, by using witchcraft, they lead your eye around the work and trap you in a never-ending loop, forever stuck.
I think that covers for the COPPA compliance.